Hi, I'm Bryce Dallas Howard, and I'm here with Harper's Bazaar UK to share things that you don't know about me. They would say that I'm quirky. They would say that I'm thorough. And they would say that I'm passionate. Perhaps the thing that makes me the happiest of all, aside from the obvious things like, of course, my family and all of that, are my pets. My pets. I love my pets. I love my fur babies. I have 3 cats and 2 dogs. They're all so weird and wonderful. Injustice makes me really angry. That's very tough for me. When I see folks working very hard and not being given credit and being affirmed for their contributions to what they do, that really makes me furious. I'm conflict averse as a person, but not in those scenarios. I'm very happy to chastise someone who I feel is perhaps not being kind to someone who deserves to be treated with respect. From a very young age, I was very interested in being a librarian because I'm very passionate about research and the Dewey Decimal System. That's something that I really loved, and I interned at Vanity Fair for a while in the research department because I was like, oh, this could really be a career. And to be honest, I kind of fantasize about it still to this day. Libraries are my favorite. Definitely the biggest career moment for me by far was when I was discovered by M. Night Shyamalan when I was doing a play in New York. I was doing As You Like It, a Shakespearean play at the Public Theater, and he came and saw it, waited afterwards for me, and we later met up, and he straight up just offered me the lead of his movie, The Village, and that was my first part in a movie. And I straight up said to him, I was like, don't you want me to audition for this? And he said, no, I saw what I needed in the play and I don't want to risk you not being good at auditioning and then, me not being allowed to cast you. So I'm just going to cast you. I've been given a lot of great advice over the years. People can smell if an actor is busy. And so to make sure to have more things in your life going on than just the focus on acting, because it makes you a fuller, more expansive human being. The most important advice, and this is advice I teach, and this is something that I say to my students all the time, to never put pressure on your art to support you financially. Because that is the quickest way to fall out of love with creating art. Argylle is directed by Matthew Vaughn, and it is a spy action comedy with so many twists and turns and the greatest cat ever. I play a character named Ellie Conway, and she's a novelist, and she writes spy novels, actually very successful spy novels, all based on a character that she created named Argylle. She's finishing up her final book. She's got a little bit of writer's block. She goes to see her mom, and on that journey, she actually meets, for the first time in her life, a real spy. And he's like nothing that she ever thought a spy would be. I would say the most luxurious thing that I ever bought myself was a Pilates reformer machine. That was a big deal. I was really into Pilates early in my life, had studied it really seriously for years and years, and then, saved and found a used Pilates machine. But at the time it was in the beginning of my career, I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment. And so basically my apartment was this Pilates machine. And my friend would always come over and just be like, your apartment looks like a gym. Like you have a bed and a Pilates machine. Like, let's get a couch in here. It's not one to kind of just pick up as a comfort read, but The Things They Carried by Tim O'Brien is one of the most beautifully written books that I've ever read. I could pick up A Wrinkle in Time at any moment, and it brings me straight back to my childhood. My mom read that book to me out loud. My mom is actually a novelist, and so reading is a big part of our family's life, And there are lots of books that we treasure, of course. I'm a child of the 90s. I'm the same age as Britney Spears. So any Britney Spears song, I just can't help but be thrust back into my high school experience, really enjoying Hit Me Baby One More Time and, all of those wonderful classics. Any Beyonce song, absolutely. I feel like I'm almost not worthy to talk about Beyonce though. Like it's like I'm not worthy. I actually do have a real party trick. My dad would take me around to parties, and anyone who was pregnant, he would bring me up to them and he would say, "What are they having?" And I would tell them, and I was never wrong. They figured it out because when my mom was pregnant with my sisters, it was very early in her pregnancy, and they actually didn't even know that she was pregnant yet, and they asked me to draw a Christmas card. I was 3, and I drew one, and I drew a picture of my mom with 2 little figures inside, and they were like, "Who's that?" And I was like, "Those are my 2 little sisters." My mom found out that she was pregnant. This was in the 80s, and so there was no way really to determine for quite a while that it was going to be twins and twin girls. And yeah, I got my little sisters. I really pay attention when I'm working with professional hair and makeup artists because, they are masters of their craft, and I love to learn. And so I really want to learn to be able to do all of those things. And so, yes, over the years, definitely have been able to apply some of those things. Just keeping the skin very hydrated. Dry skin for me is the enemy. Makeup is not happy over dry skin when it's my face. And so just, a lot of moisture. I know this is boring. Sunblock. I'm 42 years old, so I can really say now, like, you gotta do sunblock. And lashes. Lashes make a really big difference for me. For me, I definitely feel most beautiful when I'm working with professionals, when I'm working with professional hair and makeup, and when my incredible publicist is putting me in gorgeous clothes. I'll never forget the first time that I got my hair and makeup done professionally. And I don't have self-esteem issues. I feel very good about myself. I actually know that I walk through life with a lot of pretty privilege. And so it's not something where I'm very tough on myself. And yet, when I looked in the mirror after getting my hair and makeup done professionally for the first time, I was just like, wait, what? That's possible? Like, that's insane. The advice that I would give to my younger self is very clear. Do not diet. Do not try to change the shape of your body for aesthetic reasons and in turn compromising your health. It's none of your business how your body ends up. It's not in your control. If I could do anything, I would go back and I would say, Bryce, they're telling you that you're this weight and that you need to be less. Ignore it. Ignore it. It's only going to lead you down a path that is not going to get you any of the results that they're asking for. And it's going to lead to a lot of strain on your body and going to create a relationship with nutrition and food that is, dangerous and doesn't set a good example for anyone. So I would say, don't diet. It's funny because, self-care, like there's this idea of what self-care is, and often it's kind of attributed to like putting on like face masks and like being in a bath and all of that. For me, it's more mental and just making sure that I'm really, taking care of my sleep hygiene and making sure that I'm engaging in things that kind of calm the nervous system. I love, love, love to watercolor. And I have to say, I have to try to not feel guilty about doing it because it's so nourishing and so wonderful. And it's not like I'm a professional. It's not adding up in any kind of a way that contributes to my family other than the fact that I'm a better human being when I'm able to spend some quiet time every day doing watercolor. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you learned a little bit more about me.